this is Rachelle at Rivet Patterns, and in this video we're going to be talking about a full tummy adjustment on a bodice. This is the free Heather tee. If you want to grab that, work along with me. So in this one we don't actually need to take out the seam allowances, so it makes it fairly simple. And here is our cut on the fold in the front. A full belly or a full tummy adjustment is if your tummy here, if you're wearing your shirt and the back seems fine, but the front is pulling right here, then this is the adjustment for you. We are going to add width and length right at the tummy area. If you're going by your standard measurements, you might find that you need to go with a smaller size overall and then do this adjustment. It's kind of like a full bust adjustment, it's just for the tummy. So let's get started. So we're going to draw a few lines here. First is going to be from this vicinity of the full bust or the full chest, depending on if what kind of an adult pattern that you're doing. And we're just going to bring it down from about the neck point to about here. Then the first line we're going to draw is vertical from the point you just made all the way down to the hem. And then the next line we're going to draw is horizontal to the side seam. And then one more, I'd say probably around 2 inches up from your hem. If this is a dress, you can do it further up. We're going to draw across. So we're going to have 2 hinge points on here. This one's going to be the first one, and this one is going to be the second one, just on one side. So let's do this. So the first line that you're going to cut is from the bottom all the way up. I should probably tape that. This is my paper rotary cutter that I love. Makes cutting out patterns much easier. Okay, so you want to cut up to that line, and then you're going to come in from the side seam and cut also to that line. You don't want to cut through it. You want to get just up to it, which is a little more difficult to do with the rotary cutter. I'll use my scissors to snip there at the end. Okay, so we want to make this a hinge. See, we got the movement there? Okay, and because when we are adding room for your belly, it's not just width, it's also length. So you're going to go ahead and just cut all the way across this. This is just going to be a loose piece for now. And then on this side, cut from the side seam, and you're going to make your second hinge right there. Okay, so there's all of our cuts in our pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put paper behind this and put it all back into place. I use medical paper, which is the stuff that they put on the chairs and the beds in the doctor's office, because it's inexpensive and it makes great tracing paper. Plus it folds up really nicely. All right, so make sure I can get all this on here for you. So let's say that we want to add 2 inches total to our belly. That means that because we're only working with half of the bodice, we're going to actually do a 1 inch adjustment. So let me grab this. The first thing that you're going to pivot, I'm going to hold these down because this part's not going anywhere. So you're going to take this, your big piece here, and you're going to move this up. So you can see if you needed to do a bigger adjustment that you're probably going to make your line a little further down. Okay. So we're going to be moving this up. So this is where we're spreading apart for our 1 inch. So let's get our 1 inch line is right here. Okay. You can see that probably-ish, hopefully. So you're going to move this hinge out by 1 inch from the bottom piece here. Okay, so that is going to stay there. So I'm going to go ahead and tape that down. Okay, then, and I'm going to move this up because the top part isn't as important now. In addition to adding this width, so we'll need to take care of this down here for your side seam. So you're going to want to, so this is overlapped here, and it's overlapped by roughly a 1/2 inch. So in order to keep your side seam the same length so that it matches up with your back side seam, you're going to want to move this down by the same amount. So move that down by 1/2 inch. Okay. And we're going to tape those in place. Then the last part is in the front, you want to add length as well as width. Standard is 3/4 of an inch to the front for every inch that you're adding out here. You can experiment. It's better to add more than not enough, and then you can always recut and hem differently. A muslin's going to tell you the best way as to how much. So we're just going to go ahead and do the standard, which is we're going to add in 3/4 of an inch here. And we're going to move this down by 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to tape this in place. So there's our new pattern piece. So then when we go ahead and we draw this, you can see there's a little hiccup here, and obviously this doesn't match here. So when we go to draw it in, from here, you're just going to gently curve that back in, and then come all the way down, curve down to here, and that. This part is easy here, because you're just going to add in there. So then you have this. So come along. So this is where you're going to want to bring your line across. And you're going to want to make sure that's trued. So we're going to start out the truing. And you can use a French curve if you have one. You're just going to gently bring that back up there. So in this way, you've added an inch across and 3/4 of an inch in length, and your side seam has remained the same. And that is all there is to it.